What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy New Year. Good to see you all here. Ready for a nice, awesome trading day. Good to see you all, friends. Looks like we got outside of DD bands right now already on NASDAQ to open up the day. That's already a red flag. Little DD band break here. NASDAQ here. So anything if we trade back in here and back to yellow light, I'm trading half the position I normally would be. Once I'm back, keep an eye out on this alert here. We're opening in 1 minute. Get ready to get going here. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Irrational with new spinning. Yeah, that's correct. Good job. Good job. Yeah, this is kind of like a hold off on this one kind of day today. Global US manufacturing PMI comes out a little bit. It's 15 minutes from now. That could be a catalyst we want to see, you know, what's going on there. Yeah, just a little bit of irrational selling. I don't really know what triggered it. I'm going to check the news. It was early in the morning. Looks like it's European session. So we're outside a box here. Let's go. We are gapping, majorly gapping down here. Res is still kind of positive. That's actually a decent sign with Res being positive to trade a half gap. Let me see if I can't. That was something small. We're still on the outside of bands on NASDAQ, so hold out on this one. I'm gonna get the confirmation that NASDAQ's gonna go inside the band. I'm not gonna trade till NASDAQ breaks back DD bands just yet. So irrational market, right? Already NASDAQ has broken outside. Trade very small if I do anything. And as you folks see, we have a bear short up, so that's not going to be helpful. As you see what kind of liquidity map that is. Right, we are down here. Hedge for is resistance. So today, trade up to hedge and back down. So this is typically what you see when you see these kind of market days. A bit upside. So in the S&P, that's going to translate to about 25 points off the bottom if we do anything. So 4,800 on the top. So that's probably what we're going to see today. See the margins are changed. Let's double check and see what we got here. 32.5. Oh yeah, risk interval's 32.5 now. They got bigger. Good call. I want to trade on. I kind of don't. I think we're gonna get something like this. H Patel, what are you talking about? Your tool's frozen this morning. If your computer is frozen, just always, you know, turn it on, turn it off or something. Usually works. Starting you off with 2 fresh 50K funded accounts. All right. Good job. Good job. Congrats. We should double check some other liquidity maps here. VIX. VIX also has a problem. Keep in mind here, any upside VIX hits here, there's also VIX caution, right? VIX caution. This is an avoid day right now. It's somewhat how you spell caution. It's missing a few of the letters. That's okay. The question is do I want to catch a scalp up in the range? You could get 20 something points on it, but I feel like what I want to see on the greater market is another test to see if it's going to go down before it rallies one more time. This is what we've seen this before in years past. We've seen something like this. Like you have that trade up, and then maybe like something like that, and then we catch this, and then I personally believe we're off to a quick start. So we're gonna double check a monthly map in a second and see what we have. QQQ, mean reversion, short up. We're down here, and oh, this is kind of even a weird setup on Qs. So you have opposing walls and an illiquidity pocket. Qs also have limited upside as well. Wait, where did my... So just because I'm gonna leave the UVXY thing on there. So even so, right? If Qs start getting a breakthrough here and start pushing up, you get that illiquidity pocket anyways. So you're even limited on Q. So you might even bounce sooner off of Q. So what I'm saying today is that if there's upside, it's limited upside, about a 20-point range, give or take. The S&P might try to hold itself. There is an event coming up in about 10 minutes. We have the U.S. manufacturing PMI on the S&P. That's coming out. That can create a little bit of stimulated move. But yeah, we do have a bunch of hurdles in the way. So you have a VIX caution. We have, let's put a little 2 there for that. We have a 1. We have illiquidity pocket on Qs. So what that does is that creates resistance as well. So Qs hits its wall, it's going to resist. At the same time, UVXY has that. You see how the structure is kind of mirroring? It's kind of neat, right? A bunch of cautions together. And also IPQs, and you're also going to hit DD band on Qs as well. What's Res doing? Res is right on the edge as well. So Res is not giving us any love today. As you can see, it's like when it opened, the calculations there right at 0. So we're not really getting much. So resilience is not giving us any love either. Res less than 0 is down here. So that's what we're seeing. So this is kind of a blah day today. That's okay. This is like the 3rd trading day I've sat out on. Kind of nice. Not doing much. Let's check out the start of the year. As we can see, monthly maps still look bullish leading in through February, like we were hoping to see that. Very, very, very strong short squeeze potential. This light gray box that's pushing lower is a short squeeze potential over the course of the next couple of months. Let me show you how you translate this. So the top of the light gray box trending down. Bears are exiting positions over the course of that period of time. That's 2 months. And then the bull side, the top of the dark gray box, also slipping down. Bulls are longing more. So you get a twofold, power on your rally, which doesn't mean it's rallying today specifically, but over the course of time, it's looking to still rally, which is good. Good, strong bull market still. DD's still bullish, right? So good. Today's downside looks like real estate's getting hammered today. And communications, consumer discretionary, these are a big part of S&P, NASDAQ as well. you're gonna fall off of where's tech here. It's gonna hit because of tech. Nasdaq will. Okay, a little bit of COT action here. You can see you still have the liquid market. You have bear market, bull market. So bull market's becoming a little bit more bullish. Bear market's becoming a little less bearish. It's very liquid when they fan out from each other. Just like here, that creates really strong bear market rallies or bear market squeezes, bull market rallies, whatever you want to call them, in these little waves. So same thing. You have the difference between here and here is that the dealers are also negative because it's a stronger longing. But when you get green and blue pinch away from each other, it's not necessarily illiquid. You're not going to have volatility. So volatility is going to be collapsing, things like that will be prominent in what you're going to see. And then of course, you might see again, this is week old data, but still over the course of whatever, you're seeing that strong rally there. Now let's double check, what's really going on here. What's causing a little bit of downside or thinness in the market? Speaking of volatility, we all know our favorite. Right, our favorite right here. You're trading that above triple B area. This is a VIX thing. So VIX and contango, and you don't lose out that triple B level. When you roll into the new contract, then the market's just gonna have choppy overshoots. Or sorry, choppy pivots, overshoot pivots. Not easy to trade in thinner market than the relative normal. So it's gonna be really responsive to catalysts and events. So we talk about this when you're trading up in this region here for the course of the month. A news event or a catalyst can have a lot more of an effect on the market. And if you're trading down here, it's a little more robust. So you can see that I don't know what happened overnight. I'm going to read the news. But you can see how the market's very responsive. And above triple B, you can get that. So it means, all this together just means trade small if you trade anything at all. Looks like sitting out and not taking long is the right answer. Love our tools. They're so fucking awesome. So yeah, Nasdaq's taking another leg down. I have no exposure in the market. Wake up, see the day's dirty. Don't want to touch that nasty thing with the 10-foot pole, and then just let it do its thing. Right? Is life. Okay. Good deal. Now the question is, what kind of opportunities can I find? Definitely don't want to short this either. Again, I don't like to short a greater bull market. It's just another relaxed day. Red Sea, still the Red Sea issues. Oh, okay, yeah. So nothing. So essentially, when it turns around and starts selling off at 3 in the morning, you always have to tell yourself, okay, what the hell happened in Europe? Because that's European trading session. That's around the time they open. 2 o'clock in the morning, my time, or 1 o'clock, depending on daylight savings or not. About an hour or so into their session, looks like we started turning around and coming down. Let's go to financial juice, which I love to look at and just read the news. Traders prepare Fed rate cut bets, seeing fewer than 150 basis points this year. News you need to know. Let's turn on some more of these things. Stock market headlines. Let me see if I can. Turn on that. Let me customize this a little bit. Out this Forbes latest headlines. Market news, most popular. Because I'm showing the important stuff. Maybe that. Let's see if I can get a little better. Yeah, that happens. So all the stuff, right? You have different. It's what is it? It's shut off. There's a this either it's shipping is interrupted, right? So that's what's happening. My mom was telling me the other day as well. Is it blocked off, or they just? I know it says ships are getting attacked, but is there also a blockade? What's like physically going on? Like, if somebody can give me a quickie. We'll probably call this one early as well. No trading day. The real important stuff is, should I go to Tulum in a week and a half? Hold on 1 second, guys. I got a couple things I gotta do real quick. All right. Seeing the candles reminded me of one thing I needed to do. So we're getting our new data feeds. I'm going to get them to turn on probably today for the test server, so we'll see how it goes. So that's going to be good. What's going on with my candles here? Alright, check out this one selling off there. Server action going on. Oh yeah. Wait a second, guys. I need to turn my tablet back on. I know I don't know why I have it turned off. I can actually do like writing without my mouse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still dragging here. I've had one hellacious weekend. Had a very, 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 very crazy New Year's bash. You guys know me and my parties. They're a little elaborate. This is still stuck on QQQ. It's interesting. I spent the majority of yesterday just relaxing, recovering. I'll tell you guys some wild stories in just a moment. What is the... I remember some of you guys saying sorry. Okay, Louis is checking out some candles. Yeah, no, we have a report that says on there. Well, other shipping companies have halted transportation through the Red Sea. Okay, you have to go around the Horn instead of through the canal. Oh, so the Horn is on the south side, right? It's a generally poor practice. Trade one day off in New Year regardless. I'd say that in general, I hate making assumptions like that. Like for a specific holiday, like is New Year. It's kind of poor practice to trade around any holiday or 3-day or 4-day weekend, just because some people extend those into multiple day weekends, and this is all holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, any U.S. holiday where people take off and take vacation. The only thing that would affect it is for you to say, because there's nothing special about the first day of the new year in a trading sense. You could get some of that like tax loss kind of trading, write-offs, things people are doing right up until the end of the year, and then the new year, that pressure comes off. And you get a little seasonality effects as well. It's the new year. People are like, okay, I need something on the books for a new quarter. You could get something like that, but in general, the real problem around holidays is that you just have lack of participation in theory. So it's bad practice to trade heavily after or around any holiday that can create 3-4 extra days off for people. And so what you would say is that, and how many fund managers or people like that are out that day, and because they're out, maybe the traders might take the day off too, and then you have less participation. So in general, the assumption, and it's and I agree that you said that, Kevin, in general, the assumption would be that as a trader like you and me, is that we can't expect full market participation around a holiday. Now, New Year's has no specific heavier weight than any other big holiday, but I'd say like the big ones would be like 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day. These are when people take extended trips, and those are probably worse than I would say even New Year's, because almost all the time you get a 3-day weekend right off of that. So it's like, don't be trading futures the day before that, like when you have that half day on that Sunday or whatever. Don't be up in there trading futures the night before, expecting the market to move. You know, Christmas, obviously, New Year's, obviously. Yeah. So trading like the date, you know, the day before on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or New Year's Day. Lack of participation, i.e. market can be thin, and when markets are thinner, they can be very responsive to an event or a catalyst. You can see today when we hit that yellow line where there's resistance, the market just really had nothing to hold it in place. And that is just general around any holiday where people can be on vacation. So the bet is as a trader, you would say that, okay, there's probably fewer people trading today. So therefore the market's gonna be a little more sensitive. Oh, do you have a bad day, market? Okay. Be a little more sensitive to events and news events and things like that. And that is today's an example of what Kevin said. So it's not like is it bad to make a trade right now? Well, I mean, you have all your signs right now. It's not like the market's gonna become more bearish or more bullish. Remember, trading is a two-sided dynamic. So it doesn't just mean that because, you know, it's a holiday or the day after, the market's destined to sell or fall. Remember, you have fewer traders on both sides, fewer bears and fewer bulls. So will the market be like more bearish or more bullish? No, it's just fewer people there. So therefore an event, right, can cause the market to overreact in one way or the other because you don't have that buffer on both sides. And that's really the reason. It'll be less predictable, and that's kind of what you can say. Now, it doesn't mean the market won't still move on mechanics. So another thing is that fewer people could be a good sign. The fewer people that there are, the more likely that all the trading is more algorithmic than it is human trading, which makes it more predictable in that degree. So on days like this, you wait and get your pivots. You don't jump in and expect there's a momentum-based rally because everyone's longing or selling. It's not going to be. And now again, there may not be anybody that's off of work. This could be the day everybody came back to work. So in general, that's the reason why any major holiday that can cause vacations, you can say there's good side and bad side. The bad side is that it'll be more responsive in theory to news events. The good side is that there's fewer people trading, therefore your pivots will be more robust and a little more algorithmic. And that's kind of what we bet on any day, all day, every day anyways, right? So if we were to hit hedge pressure with fewer people, I'd be more willing to short that leg because you have fewer people fighting the herd, and it's mostly just that algorithmic side of the market. So your pivots should, in theory, work better with fewer people. The market, in theory, should move more chaotically to news events with less people. And that's my answer that I always say to that. So is it poor practice in general? I know I like to went on a tangent with Kevin's simple question. Yes, it's poor practice to trade around any holiday that is prone to create 3-day, 4-day weekends, whatever, in momentum or trend, to try to catch a trend those days. It's not poor practice to trade a pivot on those days. They should be stronger with fewer people. But again, it's all subjective to, like, you know, what's the holiday? Are people taking off? And it's just, what's the magnitude of how much stronger? Impossible to say. If 1% of your trading workforce is still out for New Year's or on a trip, then is that going to have an effect, or is it 10% or is it 50%? And it's such a hard thing to gauge. So, but what the takeaway is, I don't look at like the first day of the new year or Christmas Eve or the day before Thanksgiving as, this is the day the market rally is going to be a big, you know, a big fueled thing. It's like, I don't expect momentum because that's fewer people keep it going. But yeah, that's a great thought. US Navy sunk 3 ships, which prompted Iranian warships. Okay, wow. 12% of global trade. Oh, Cheat Eye, thank you for giving all the data. You guys are awesome. I'll get through this. No major disruptions. Our development team says, looks like we have some frozen candle situation. We're looking at that. But by the way, speaking of that, I'm putting in a note that we're going to get our high-end data feeds turned on pretty soon. So resilience should be working. Yeah. Let me double check. Oh, I don't know. Let me ask him. So if the candles are freezing up, which is look like we have some kind of connectivity issues to our candles, that would cause resilience to flatline. So we're gonna check on that really quick. Either way, that's something fun. Guys, I'm so excited. So like last week, I officially created the first vendor account on the Rocket Scooter Marketplace, which will be the biggest biggest marketplace for digital financial products in the world. So it'll essentially be the Amazon for trading products. We've been building this thing kind of in secret for the longest time. We've been talking about it, hinting it for the last quarter or so. We have working website, working everything. Created the very first vendor account on the Rocket Scooter website. This is huge for us, meaning that you'll buy your products differently than you do now. Now you just sign up, subscribe, and then you get a platform with liquidity map and everything. So we're setting everything differently, so where you would subscribe to everything separately, a la carte. Could get some pros and cons to that. You know, the con is you got to go through some extra steps, you know, to sign up. But the pro is you can pick what you want. You know, if you're a futures trader, or you know, you may not. Like, you know how here you sign up and then you go through all the steps to allocate futures? Well, there you'll be able to pick, what do you want? Do you want a liquidity map? Do you also want resilience? Do you also want DD bands? You can pick and choose the indicators that you want. You can bundle them up and get them as a package. You can buy them independently. Say like, you don't use anything else, but you like to know where hedge pressure is on things. Well, maybe you just want the liquidity map. So you're paying like the full price for it, you just a la carte the indicators. There's a little more flexibility in price, so you can get stuff for a little bit cheaper for yourself. Plus, it opens the doors for other vendors to add their tools to our marketplace and ecosystem. So that makes it very cool, so that other people can now have a place to develop and create strategies, tools, other products. We're not just going to have indicators. The marketplace is going to have everything. And I can't tell you what everything is, but we're creating product categories that you didn't think that you needed. But we're able to monetize almost every aspect of a trade room through our marketplace, which means that people will be able to create subscriptions for just about anything. And like an example is we created a platform where you can add scanner settings and alerts and things, and these could be bundled up as things you can purchase. Hey, let me get Matt's scanner setting for breakout trades. Oh, and then it pops them all up here for you. You can buy that and add to the platform. Call outs, alerts. We have all kind of ways to get that integrated to a trading platform. So the cool thing about marketplace is that's going to open the doors for people to not only be able to get products, all kind of in a centralized fashion, but collaborations. That's the key, and we'll have more of that coming. Yeah, we just restarted our processes for. Yeah, we had a frozen, so that's what you heard me typing a second ago. We were restarting our process. It looks like it held up and froze, so that was me getting that going. It looks like we're back. I'll note here. So I double checked our processes had frozen. So we are looking pretty, should be able to refresh now. It should be okay. As is back on. Looks like candles are still frozen. I don't know about that, you guys. Yeah, looks like we're good. Excellent. All right, you guys should be good now. It wasn't y'all. We checked on it. Let me ask why. Sandy says a minute you have to pay for indicators as a lifetime member. No. This is not you if you've already bought them. This is for future people. Sorry. Let me clarify that. If you, whatever you have now, here's the thing. If you already have subscribed, whatever you have now, you don't have to change a thing. You guys are Tesla revived. Yay. Socket just hung up. We just restarted our proxy server, so now we're good. Good deal. Okay, thank you. Okay, back up. All right, so this is for everyone else, Sandy. You guys don't have to change anything if you've already got the indicator. So it's like somebody else, it's different. FYI. Now, one thing we do have to make an announcement on is if you are lifetime members, and this again, we're gonna make sure you guys understand this. Sometime very soon, as in like this week or coming up this week, give or take, we're making an announcement. You are going to have to pay for data going forward, even if you are a lifetime member. The very strong, the really kind of, I say strong, not strong data feed. I mean, the robust data feed, right? We have a good one. What you may see are like wiry candles because we don't buy all the exchanges. This was a cost saving measure when we got out the door. We don't use candle data at all for our calculations. We use options data. So options, we have the full opera feed that we buy. Candles, as you see on UVXY, see how they're not really like fully developed candles. It's just kind of like, it looks the same as your other trading platforms. So it just doesn't have all the trading volume. We didn't buy that. It's another, 10, 15 grand a month just to have a little bit more data. So we have like a significant portion of the data, but not all of it. So all your candles, as you see, might look different on Thinkorswim or TradingView than you'll notice. And I'll tell you, again, when we were starting out at the door, since we don't use candle data because we don't use technical indicators, it's not important to have all the full volume. You just need to have enough of it to represent the market just for display, because this is just a display thing. But now that we're opening a marketplace, people that sell technical indicators are going to need all the trading volume. So Joe, you were correct. We're not upgrading the trading volume because we need it. We're upgrading to buy all the full trading volume because other vendors on our marketplace will need it. Somebody that sells a technical indicator, it's based on the calculation in the candles, right? As you're 100% correct, we taught not to trust the candles. That's why we don't use them. It's just good to know where the last price is. So now we're upgrading to the full SIP feed, which is going to be you get the full data API from all exchanges turned on. Now, here's what's going to be, even if you're lifetime members, you ready for this? $3 a month. And none of that goes to us. It goes straight to the exchange. That's it. Very nominal expense. Pro and con to that is con, we did say you're not going to have to pay anything else for the platform. The data feeds, this is going to the exchange. So what we're asking everyone to do is to take that charge, and we're not going to pay on your behalf. Now, your option is if you want free data, we will have a 15-minute delayed feed. So if you still don't want to pay anything, when we turn it on, you will get a delayed data feed. Again, candles shouldn't be important to you anyways. That's fine. You don't need to have the data. So your options are free data, they'll be delayed, or $3 a month for real-time candles, but they'll be better. And that's kind of the middle. Sandy, I don't have Rocket Scooter freeze up. So if you're having issues on your end, reach out in the tech support and see if they can help you. Very rarely, if ever, has Rocket Scooter ever frozen up for me. And I don't know what you mean by frozen up, but the software is, I can't remember if it's ever frozen up for me ever. And even if anything holds up, if you refresh by hitting F5 or clicking the refresh button, it usually cleans it up. So it could have something to do with your browser. You might have some, you know, something going on in your computer. We can help you out. And what she's probably mentioning is that, yeah, so it's usually always smooth for me. So we can always help you out. You have to hit refresh sometimes. A lot of times what you might be experiencing is what I'm saying with the data. If you're saying frozen, like the candles, this was a one-time thing because the process had to be restarted. This never happens. So this is related to that. What you may be noticing is that the candle volume is not all there. The candles aren't fully developed. And it looks like it's frozen, but it's not really frozen. That's what I'm trying to explain. You may see trades like on your Thinkorswim that this is not reflecting because we're not buying all the exchange volume. And you might be perceiving that as locking up. You guys understand? Okay. Yeah, so today, the S&P is just today. We already talked about this today. Our process froze. So, hold on 1 second. All right. No, yeah. So we're gonna get a more robust data feed. That's where I was talking about that same thing. Is there a delay? There's no delay coming in today. So let me make another note. All right, sorry, just I'm working on designing our transition plan for the data. So just what's going to happen is you're going to log in one morning. Then we're going to tell everybody over the weekend. So it'll be like a Friday. We'll make the announcement all week and be like, look, you need to sign, you got to do this before Monday. And you go in, you just go through what you did before. It's the same thing. And it's going to be like select your data. And you'll just have two options instead of one. The paid option will just charge your card on file. The free option will charge you nothing. Fill out the same form and you continue. If you don't get the message, you wake up Monday morning, you'll try to log into the platform and it'll not let you have access to the platform until you do it. The current check is if you don't sign up for your data, the platform won't load up. It'll just redirect you to the sign up form. So if you wake up Monday morning and you didn't get the message, paying attention, and whatever Monday it is, we'll make the announcement again, let you know, give you a week to know about it. You'll try to get into the platform. It'll just throw you in circles till you fill out a form. So at minimum, that'll be the thing if you don't get the message. So that's how we're designing it. Sandy, when you joined Lifetime, you were told that everything that's developed in the future will be included. That's correct. Everything that's developed in the future will pay for it. But I'm not going to pay for your data. If you want upgraded, or if you want free data, then you'll have a free option. But we can't foresee little things like exchange charges. And if $3 is a problem, you shouldn't be trading, to be honest. Because if I'm going to pay 10 grand and you're not going to pay 3 grand, that's no offense. I love you guys. So that's rather selfish. If we do this for y'all, you should at least do that for, and that's not even for us. We don't make a buck off that. The exchange is going to charge. But if you don't want to pay it, then imagine taking our thousands of active members times another $3 a person. And that's another, you know, $5, $10, $20, $30,000 I'd have to pay on everyone's behalf. And then I could say, screw it. You guys can just have these candles for the rest of your life. And nobody really wants that. Everybody wants improvement, right? So they charge us and we just pass it on to you. Every platform charges you. So what I can say is you guys have been lucky that you've gotten the data for free to this point when everyone will charge you $3 or whatever for it, because they pass the exchange fee to everyone. So if you go to TradingView and sign up, it'll be $3. You know, it's always, and they always do that. And that's just how it goes. If you have any questions, if you have any questions, just go to tech support in the channel. RS is good. Yeah, we restarted our proxy server and process everything. So it held up. And so everything's back to normal. And actually I'm talking about creating a first out check system for these things. So actually what I've been talking about, an automation process. Normally we manually check everything in the morning, but I'm designing a process that we used to have in chemical plants, which was, if something fails, like, you know, a tank is supposed to supply fluid to another thing, and the valve opens all the way because there's no flow, and it's like, we need to open to get more flow. And then the failure of the valve would report to the system like, hey, by the way, valve all the way open, root cause, check the level of the tank, it's empty. So then you get an alert that's like a feed that's telling you all the problems. So like, I want to be alerted automatically when the process has stalled, unless as us as the user base don't notice it and have to report it. So I just now wrote like a 2-paragraph thing creating a first out alarm system on our automated processes. Long story short, an alert for me that would say resilience not updating, or letter missing in liquidity map, or hedge pressure missing for SPY. And I would have this feed me information before you guys do. It'll be faster to troubleshoot. So in the morning, we check like, is the pre-market data okay? Are all the sockets connected? All of those things need to be automated. And that's just like, as we're learning and design, it does make sense. Right? Like, that's what we're doing. But yeah, to answer your question, Sandy, anything else we develop in the Rocket Scooter family of indicators and tools, you do get for free as a lifetime member. If the exchange were to come out and say, sorry guys, we're going to have to charge off $5 for data, it wouldn't be something Rocket Scooter for forecast. Back then, we didn't forecast that we would be switching our data either. But it's something that's just going to happen. It's a small, you know, it is what it is. But just FYI, none of that money pays us anything. It goes straight to the exchange. Yeah. And like I said, if you contest that thought, we have a free data option for you, which will be delayed. Kevin Foley says automated CI/CD pipeline testing. Yeah. You got it. So what I'm doing right now actually is I'm repurposing our Discord bot to create a server alerts kind of channel where the Discord bot will blast out alerts of our server status and process status with like first out and troubleshooting. Which would kind of be cool. Just call it SCADA for process automation. Yeah. Reminds me of being in a plant. It's so fun. Like, it just reminds me of all the little systems we had on our plant. So, Sandy, I really suggest that you pay attention when I speak and hear exactly what I'm saying before you get confused. When you join Lifetime Member, you were told that everything that's developed in the future will be included. So now you're changing that. No, I'm not changing that at all. Everything that's developed in Rocket Scooter tools. Now, when we create a marketplace with additional indicators that aren't made by me, then if you want those optional new things, you'll have to pay for them as well. What we said was anything that we made in the Rocket Scooter suite of tools or future development on the platform will be part of the lifetime package. So if the platform comes out with new features, such as I create an AI-based journaling tool that comes free for the platform, you won't have to pay for new widgets, new tools, new developments in the platform. If we make new indicators under the Rocket Scooter brand, you don't have to pay for those as well. If the exchange comes through and starts charging money, that's not part of that promise, right? That's not something we can control. If it was my choice, it would be free, like, right? So if you know, like when futures, it's the same thing as futures. So futures is automated. If you want the optional futures data, you go in and you pay $11 a month or whatever for that. It's the same thing. So if you want the optional real-time data, we never promised you real-time data for free, right? So now real-time data with missing data is free for you guys, but that's the price of the missing candles and kind of a lesser cool data package. So that's where the change happens. And again, we engineer those to be as minimally as nominal as possible. Like, we will make sure that if little things come up like that here and there, we engineer them to be the cheapest possible. So like when we go, okay, we're gonna get futures data. Well, there's no way to make it free. Okay, what's the cheapest we can get it? Oh, okay, let's get it there. $1 a month. What's a $10 a month API fee? Okay, here's how you do it. And so with the data here, that's the best we can get it. So don't think that, you know, like anything. So the $3 we don't profit on, the $11 we don't profit on, that goes straight to the exchange. So we're not even adding a surcharge. Like, I can go in there and say $4 for you guys and, you know, fucking deal with it, and then make $1 a month off of each person, and then many thousands extra profit for the company. Well, we don't do that, right? So we're very honest and have good integrity here. So just FYI. There's never going to be like a rug pull where you have to turn around and come pay for things that were promised to be free. Data feed is not part of that promise. So Sandy, so before you get very confused, tell me you understand the difference. And everyone else, you guys understand the difference, right? Data feeds, there's a strict line of who owns that data feed. That we don't own that. Exchange, right? They own the data feed and they send a bill to you or me. Everything that Rockscooter develops, we own. So in the platform, you're good here. Anything that we make and build, you guys at Lifetime will get for there. There won't be a bill for any new tools. So like you said earlier, whenever you have to get all your indicators configured once the marketplace opens, when they said people will have to buy them, you don't have to buy them. So the exchange sends us a bill for data. You guys understand? They charge the fee. So the exchange can come in and charge whatever they want. They can come in tomorrow and say, you know what, we're doubling the fee, we're tripling the fee, we're making it 1,000 times different. And so I would be always, if I were to make a promise like data feeds are free for you forever, that'd be a stupid business decision at the start. And I'm susceptible to something I can't control, essentially overnight ruining our business. Right? If they tripled their prices and I was telling you I'd pay for you for life, our business would die overnight, and then your platform will get shut off forever, and then your lifetime fee goes to waste. So that's actually a safeguard to protect you for the purchase you made, if you guys pay attention, right? Here's what I could do tomorrow: wake up and turn Rocket Scooter off, and go live my life and have a lovely life. And you guys bought the platform, and well, good luck to you. It's turned off. Why? Well, because the exchange tripled their data costs, and now that would have been a bad decision for me to promise to pay you forever for that. And now the company is underwater and can't afford to support itself. With our many thousands of users, that overwhelmed our budget. And then because we didn't have that flexibility, that one change that the exchange could make would sink our company. So no CEO in the world would ever promise you free data in a trading platform. So your confusion hopefully is clarified right now, and everyone else's confusion is clarified. We have things we have no handle on. Those costs will always be passed to you, even if your lifetime. Do we understand? Everyone say, yes, I understand. It was mostly exchange fees, those kind of things. As a trading platform, we cannot pay for them for you. Even if we wanted to, it'd be a dumb decision. They could charge infinity dollars, and then the platform goes underwater, and then we got to shut it down, and then you lose your platform. That flexibility allows the company not to be shut down overnight. Sandy, you there? Cool. So just understand the reason why that is. But everything we develop in indicators, tools, features, you get all that for free. And on the marketplace, there'll be a charge for it. Like if you want, AI tools and all the new things we're building, you'll have to pay 10 or 20 bucks, whatever, a month if you're not Lifetime. The Lifetime will get that comped as a part of the Lifetime deal. So yeah. Okay, just make sure everybody understands. When it comes to exchange fees, broker fees, like it's the same thing as like, oh, Matt, well, we're Lifetime, you promised everything would be free. Well, I didn't promise everything would be free. You go in there and make a trade and your broker charges you a commission. There's no way I can make that free, right? So things like broker commissions, exchange fees, data fees, those things you will always have to pay. All the platform features, and platform tools that I make for free. So if Ashton goes out and starts building his own Rocket Scooter tools, and you go to Ashton's vendor page on the marketplace, and Ashton sells a custom liquidity map or options traders, that will not be free because Ashton made that. Let's make sure everybody understands the difference. The Rocket Scooter marketplace page, or Rocket Scooter sanctions and sells its own tools. So the example with Ashton is, while he's still part of the Rocket Scooter team, he independently makes something as a vendor. That's not something that's part of Lifetime as well. Adam or someone else or any other vendor out there makes a tool for our platform. They make a custom indicator, custom something. You buy it from them. Anything we make, so you'll go to like rocketscooter.com / probably Rocket Scooter, whatever the vendor page is named. All the tools Rocket Scooter sells, liquidity map, resilience, TD, all that, all these extra features in the platform itself will be free. The more you talk about the marketplace, the more successful I think it'll be. Oh, thanks. So an example would be, if anyone else makes something, also know it's not free for your Lifetime. Does everyone understand that? So anybody that's a vendor that makes something can set their price and you got to buy it. So, so Rocket Scooter itself will be a vendor of its own platform and a vendor of the liquidity map tools, resilience tools, BD tools, these alerts, you know, these scanner settings, these DD tools, all of those will be a la carte on the website, but you'll get them for free as comped. Here we got it. Awesome. I know it's a little, I know it's like really sticky in a transitional phase when we're shifting from like you buy a platform fully stocked with features to now you go in and buying a shopping cart and loading it up. We're essentially going to give you a coupon to rebuy all of our things for free. But then we are going to automate the checkout process where you don't have to do anything at all anyways. So on the back end, you're going to wake up one morning and it's going to look exactly the same. But on the back end, we basically scrapped your platform to nothing, gave you a platform again. A robot went and filled up your shopping cart with all these things. A robot got a coupon to make them all free. And then it bought them and you woke up in the morning not seeing a difference. Who makes an indicator that live converts liquidity maps to SPX? I'll love you forever. That'd be kind of great, right? Well, here's the thing, Jace. Whenever we fully unleash and unload Rocket Script to the world, you'll be able to make it yourself. I'm going to double check that the SIP data feed comes with SPX data. If that's so, you can make it yourself. Be kind of cool. So you would be able to make your own script and share it with other people, or make your own script and sell it on the marketplace. Make a little profit for your hard work. Either way, the freedom will be there. So if somebody likes to make tools to Rocket Scooter, you can make them and share them freely, or you can make them and apply to be a vendor and sell them. So a lot of the people here have made their own custom Rocket Scooter, you know, tools to help, and then we share them with the community as part of our community. We love doing that, right? Making stuff for each other. You'll be able to have two options to sell it or freely share it by exporting the script, and you know, that'd be pretty cool. All right, what am I trying to do right now? Essentially what you'll do when the data feeds change, you'll wake up, you'll try to log into the platform, it'll redirect you to select your market data. That'd be an option that's, it'll say real-time $3, delayed free. Pick one of the two. You sign up, that form pops up, you fill out that little form like you did the first time. You click save, and then you're back into the platform, and nothing else should change. I've designed that reload process. Yeah, so really not much else to go off of today, just kind of letting the day sell off. Anytime we're outside of DD bands, we always take caution already. Anytime the market's moved more than... By the way, the margin requirements have changed. The S&P's up to 32.5, it looks like. Let's see what the new number for NASDAQ, if it's no longer 109. It's now 121.75. So looks like the margin requirements got slightly higher going into the new year, which is cool to see. We have extended bands, so it's slightly bigger, you know, another 3% or so on the S&P side, about 10% on the NASDAQ side. So what that means is that the market's expected to be a little more volatile. I would say they make these margin requirement changes for longer periods. The S&P probably changes a couple times a year, or the indice products. And you can see that there's, you know, over the course of the month, there's a little bit of expected volatility. And likely with the Fed potentially, you know, cutting rates and things like that, one could expect there to be, you know, some kind of fallout from that, and a little bit more, you know, give the market a little bit more flexibility to move. All right, let's go ahead and put this. Oops. Clone. I forgot we had the 4770 DD band. I mean, yellow line that we have sitting here. Let's just make sure we have that. Got to know that from the video. So with the S&P, anytime these green bands are pressed against or touched, we have what we call float failure. So float should prevent the S&P from wanting to touch the lower band. Right? Anytime this number is greater than half, and it should repel the lower band, or attempt to repel the lower band, because the market doesn't necessarily destabilize. We see that. If it does, it's just an early warning sign to stay away. So with float failure, we just call the market random already. Float failure means, and I'll show you what float is. It's a cool phenomenon, but we've noticed is that whenever this DD ratio, which is the percent of market cap that is on the bull side, or the fraction of bull side market cap divided by the total of bull and bear side market cap of all the stocks in the index. So we take all the stocks in the S&P and we take the market cap in bull zone divided by the market cap of bull plus bear zone, ignoring the middle. And so that ratio is telling you the strength of stocks being in their bull zones. Now, even today we're selling off, right? However, we're selling off in a bull zone. Let me pull up like a Tesla. I'm supposed to something random. It's very likely Tesla is in a bull zone. See how Tesla, while it is selling, is still in a bull zone. So with stocks still being bullish with sold calls in the money, it means the automated part of buying is going to likely still be buying the stock. So why would the S&P collapse and continue to collapse on its own if the stocks themselves have bull support? Remember, bull side support is really common on these liquidity maps. Because of the fact that you support at the bottom of the bull zone, you expect the S&P not to destabilize to the downside, but it can, because it independently trades. So when the futures are pressing outside of their risk band, you know, we call them risk intervals that are set by the exchange margin requirements, that means the futures are expected to be volatile to that degree. Any additional selling pressure beyond that, despite the idea that the market's going to have support somewhere down in here, we expect this to repel or be hedged off of it, and it's called float. And it really is very cool that it happens very, very often. It means that like when the futures are trading down and that DD ratio is greater than half, means most of the stocks are in the market cap is bullish. Actually, the S&P is going to just have this magical bullish hedging because it's knowing that it's supposed to track what the stocks are doing despite trading on its own. So it's a weird kind of thing. Like it's a plane with an autopilot system that is trying to stay on course. Now, the pilot can turn to the left very quickly, but then the computer will turn it right back to the right. That's kind of what's happening. The S&P or SPY itself can get unusual buying and selling based on people just buying and selling it. And it could dive really quick if the stocks weren't going anywhere because you're just selling it. But once it dives really quick, if the stocks are going anywhere, it's going to kind of like move price back up to meet the value it should have. The autopilot there, it's a tracking system. So because of that, a bull market shouldn't have the S&P futures destabilized to the downside, because once you break DD and keep selling, the volatility can increase and this can fall out, whereas the stocks themselves are supporting inside of here. So what happens is you see this weird phenomenon where it just doesn't even touch the line, and we see these very large volume spikes happen to kind of float it off of there, and therefore we decide to call it float, which is neat. So what happens is you expect the market to float off of that, and if you just touch that green band one time, if it's bullish, if you touch the bottom green band, the float has failed. If it's bearish or less than half, if you touch the upper band, it's also failed. So if you have that, it's an initial check. Now you can see how it's trying to lift off of that line. You see how these big stinking candles. Now here's evidence of what float typically looks like. Now this is the opening of our market. You can see how there's just candles like bumping it off at the bottom, big candles, and it's just like trying not to touch. And when it breaks, you see how there's like wicks here and wicks there and wicks there. There is hedging and buying power off of that. But as you see, as of this moment in time, the float has failed, right? So anytime the float has failed, it's an automatic sit out day, immediate sit out day. Sit out all the time. Don't ever trade float failure. Because the market, what it's proven is that futures have detached from the stock market. They're all over the place. And so it's a very strong, cautious day to stay away. When float failure is an early warning sign that the entire market's destabilized because of unusual selling pressure. So had I choose to long or short inside of here, look, hours later, the market's really kind of gone nowhere. And then look, hours later, it's kind of gone nowhere as well. You see how random and shitty this is, but how the moment I wake up and say I'm not trading today, I already know that, traders. See how it's like, had you tried to long, had you tried to short, the market's really kind of going nowhere. It is 100% random what happens when float fails. We've observably seen that. So right here, you just say, fuck you, market, I'm done for the day. So float failure is random, and we're just going to stick out. Let me make a rule for that. And yeah, I'm actually writing a logic for float failure indicator, whatever. I'm gonna type it up really quick. RTY. I'm just gonna simplify for this, you guys. Okay. All right. I just created DD float failure indicator. You guys are welcome. I love y'all, and it's free. We'll add it to if you have futures. Okay. Here's the logic. Number one, check if client has futures, you get the alert. 2, initial state 6 p.m. futures open. Light resets to green. Alert is called DD float. If DD is greater than or equal to half and price touches the lower band, or if DD is less than half on either one of the indices. So ES, Nasdaq, or Russell touch every event and light is red for the rest of the day. There's no caution light in the green. 1 alert, DD floats, checks all 3 indices. All right, let's go. Easy as that. So it'll appear, we'll put it in the unusual rules. No, I'm sorry. Put it in the random rules category. Please. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here. Why do I have a commercial in Spanish on YouTube? Above the 2 p.m. rule. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here. It's going to say DD float. So float failure is an automatic sit out. So basically what the logic says, if any of the indices touch the lower band when that's greater than half, greater than equal to half, or touch the upper band if it's bearish, then it's a float failure. It's automatically random sit out day. So you wake up, the light is red, you say, I'm going back to bed. Where do you see in your risk interval? DOR, risk interval for ES and NASDAQ. Well, you go to risk interval tab on the platform and it tells you those numbers. We update these once a night. We parse them from the exchange's website. The margin requirements, that is, and then we run our model to calculate risk intervals. In the time that the futures market is closed and before it opens every night. So you can see these. I don't know exactly what time we do it. I think it's 5:45. But, you know, when futures market closes and then right before it opens at 6 Eastern, we calculate it in that hour. I think it's 15 minutes before, but the long story short is when the futures market is open, these should be updated once a day for that open. Okay, cool. The more you hear, Kevin says, the more you hear about talking the marketplace, the more successful I think it'll be. I hope so. I really, really do hope so. Imagine, you know, like you bought an indicator on TradingView. You're stuck on TradingView forever. That sucks. What happens if you go to a different platform? What happens if you paid $5,000 to somebody's suite of tools on Thinkorswim? Now you got to use Thinkorswim forever. No offense. We love Thinkorswim, right? But that thing's a funky fucking dinosaur. The platform is decades old. That was wonderful when it came out, but man, the thing is so limited. You know, it's a processor hog. Thinkorswim still crashes my computer to this day. By the way, here's float failure on NASDAQ. You see how with the S&P, I'll show you when I say random. This is why we have this rule. Random means random. You can predict that the stock market's going to be random before you even start the day. You're now one up in traders out there that are trying to like maneuver this shit. When one of them fails, they all are going to be fucking weird. Okay. So here's an example. NASDAQ failed 5:25 in the morning. This is the Red Sea issues, right? The market's responding pretty heavily to interruption of trade. Now, let me tell you how catalysts like this usually affect. That's a big deal. This is the start of some possible week or so of downside that can still progress. But again, we take it one day at a time. The idea that you have that extended volatility because of this rule, the market's going to be very responsive to catalysts and events. Now, the S&P, it failed a little bit later than NASDAQ, but see, when NASDAQ failed, there's your early warning sign to stay out of everything else. So it looked 5:20 in the morning, my time. It alerted to avoid trading anything. And the S&P, by consequence, failed its float like 2 hours later. So when any one of the three major indices break, they all are bad. And you can see how the S&P also became random and choppy and weird. So immediately at this point in time, and here's what float actually looks like. Let me show you. I wasn't kidding about float. Does everybody see? Type yes in chat if you see it. You see this magic cushion of air? Whee! It's like a wind. And then this was like, nope, sorry. Do we all see? Do you see how it's trying to float off the fucking bottom line right there? Do y'all see that? That's what float is. We observe that. Tell me you guys see this. There's some magical hedging that takes place to try to maintain structure of the market. You see how it's trying to float. You don't make this shit up. These are things that set us apart from all trading groups. These are things that we have that nobody has. Baron Payne, you need to add. Okay, first of all, if you do me a favor, you need to go watch the videos at some point just to catch up on like platform features. But you add the ticker that you want to see on here. If you only see one, you gotta create your list. So you have to add what you want. Baron. You might have deleted all of them or something, but if you only see one of them, then make sure you enter another ticker. This is the look at my screen and pause the stream here. These are the symbols. This is how you type in the ticker. So if you want like S&P, for instance, you would type S F.US ESH24, MESH24. You got it, bud? Okay. And like, reach out to tech support if you need any further help with it, but just make sure you've added them all here. By default, you should have a default list. So you might have wiped it all on accident or something. Okay, we all cool, my friends? All right, so float. Everyone see float? You see right here? It's like, and let me go to a tick chart. It makes it even a little more evident to, you can see that actual order flow. Let me go to a 25 tick chart. It's so weird. It keeps overriding my. Let's add it real quick. Tick intraday. Cool. So nice, easy, chill day today. No trading, no anything. Let the market be shit and just do your thing. What? What did I just do? Okay. Float is a cool thing. It's just showing how two things are tracking each other. And so if one of the things is stable and the other thing's unstable, you're going to see a little bit of pressure for those algorithms to kind of keep them. Where was that break? Oh my goodness, come on, today. Okay, now my DD bands are going? What the heck? What did I do Thinkorswim? Okay. Oh, okay, it is at 16,800. Okay. Let's try to see it. I'll show you on a tick chart. There it is. Okay. On a tick chart is a time independent chart. You won't see the wicks. You'll just see the order flow off of it. You see how there's a little bit of order flow off of it? Like it's just trying to, there's buying off, and that's really what your float is doing. The market's trying not to destabilize, and once it does, you can see volatility starts to pick up, and the market gets a little unstable once float fail happens. And you just don't want to deal with a market where the futures are declining faster than the basket, some of the stocks inside of it, right? Here's case in point. This is why you avoid float failure days, is that volatility, right, is the size of the V's, right? When the market's kind of oscillating. When float has failed, volatility is going to be random. Now that's not bigger, but this is bigger, right? There's a bigger V. There's a bigger V, right? So medium, small, big, big. So you see how the market's just destabilized? You have that early warning sign right here. When this happens, this is not really tradable. This is kind of noise and mess. And while the Nasdaq did sell off, one could say, aha, float failure means I can short the market. Well, not necessarily, right? Nasdaq gave you its warning sign right here. Therefore, all three of the indices are unstable. And look at the S&P. Like the S&P volatility got slightly bigger and slightly bigger, right? This is bigger and bigger. So volatility is going up, but it doesn't necessarily mean selling off. Like the S&P has not rewarded you for trying to short this market, right? It just became untradeable. And we treat them all as untradeable. Look at the Russell. Like the Russell is cool. Like Russell's like, fuck you guys. I don't care. Do my own thing. And look at the Russell. The Russell actually trading up. So it's like Nasdaq trading down, the S&P chopping around wider, and the Russell trading up. Does this look like you want to, everybody, and I'm going to close out the stream here. Does this look like you want to trade this? Or is this early warning sign right here letting you know that the market's just going to be really weird? When these indices usually track each other, right? When one goes up, they all go up. When one goes down, they usually all go down. But when you have that float failure, they're all going to just kind of be weird. One goes up, one tanks, one is choppy. And guess what? You woke up, you looked at the market, you said, nope, I'm going back to bed. I still got a hangover from New Year's. Fuck this shit. I'm going back to bed and going to relax. I want to deal with it today. And I wouldn't have, right? And I haven't on the stream. That's the whole point of why you come watch every morning. Learn these little tricks of the trade. Little by little, gain some knowledge and wisdom every day. We're glad to share it. Some garbage, yeah, garbage markets. Be like, whatever, not tradable today. I haven't had a trading day in like 4 days, right? And guess what I've avoided? Let's double check. Look what here. I haven't traded since probably this is the last day I traded, I think. Maybe here. No, maybe this is the last day I traded. Look what I avoided. Nothing this, New Year's, none of this. Flat market goes nowhere, flat market goes nowhere. Wake up. I think we had something happen here. Analyzed the market, it wasn't that good. We left it alone and then woke up today, did nothing. I'm bullish in the market. So look at this. I didn't trade flat day. I didn't find 2 bad days. I'm sitting out on the sidelines safely waiting for another good trading day to come up. And that's really the art of being a professional at this, is not just picking and trying to predict every single day up or down, trying to get it right. The best part of being a poker player is seeing the cards that are dealt to you before the flop and saying, I'm going to fold. And betting the next hand. And you do the same thing in trading. Not every day is a good hand. When the hands are good, the money is good. When the hands are bad, it's risky to take a bet. So I treat trading like poker, where I don't like it, I don't trade it. And that's pretty simple. And look at this. If you touch this today, you're a little bit more of a maverick than I am. If you follow the float failure rules, which I'm going to have to make this for you guys, it's another red light, just like the 2 p.m. to let you know markets can be random. And we can all agree that what I showed you with the Russell trading up, NASDAQ collapsing, and the S&P just being, you know, all huggy on this line right here and choppy, that really is random. And that's why it's called random rule. Do you guys understand? We do our diligence here, creating these tools for y'all. It's very random. And so your experience will be random. And why bet on coin flips, right? Excellent. I had one hell of a New Year's party. Oh shit, I didn't even tell you all about it. Remind me tomorrow to tell you the story of my New Year's party. I had some fun stuff. Just letting you know, like, my living room looks like a fucking unicorn exploded. It's covered in glitter. Because we're pre-gaming over here, and some of the girls were changing into we went to dinner first at like this cool, like, kind of cocktail cabaret style dinner lounge, and then we went out, and the out when everybody pops out their disco ball dresses, and so there's just glitter everywhere. It's crazy. I can't touch anything without getting glitter on my arms and legs. Seriously. But it's a very glamorous night, and y'all know me. I throw basically 2 big parties a year. One for my birthday, and usually one for New Year's. I used to throw a pretty sizable Super Bowl party way back in the day, and I was known for it. Like, we would play all kind of fun games. Like we had this one tradition at Super Bowl. Like, so at Super Bowl parties I used to do, I used to throw I used to make a punch, like an alcoholic punch for each of the teams. Like, the color would match the color of the teams. And I would come up with some like cool cocktail punch. I remember like one year the 49ers and Ravens were playing. There was like there's a purple punch and there was a red punch. We used to have like this game where it was one year I took a fishbowl and you had to write on a piece of paper how many things were in the fishbowl. So there's a fishbowl and we fill it with things. I was really trying to get rid of like some arts and crafts stuff that I found. And it was like, you know, guess how many marbles kind of game. It was like, guess how many things in the fishbowl. And it included anything inside the fishbowl was the rule. And if you guessed it, you got the fishbowl and whatever the prize was. The prize also was in it. And it's usually like a gift card or something cool. But over the years, that game evolved into being that you must keep the fishbowl on display at your house for the entire year. And the fishbowl got progressively more decorated, and not in a nice way. Like, people, the idea was to make the fishbowl look like it belonged in a bedroom of like a 5-year-old girl. It was like real princessy. It was decorated with like lace, and like it got really elaborate. There was sometimes My Little Ponies on the inside of it, but the prize was always like $1,000 gift card or something. So to get the prize, you must have the fishbowl displayed somewhere in your house. And so the lame fishbowl game was a really strong tradition. And every year the fishbowl got bigger and worse and more horrible looking. And the prize got better. I think at the last iteration, I was giving out an iPad as the prize. And you had to get a fishbowl big enough to fit an iPad in it. I remember that was one of them. So like, you know, we have fun when we do parties, and that's the kind of stuff I used to do. And I used to have really big ass, you know, events for things, but I should probably revive the Super Bowl party at 1 year if I get a bigger house. But I just like to have events, you know, work hard all year, a couple times a year, have a good time. This place we went to had a really, really cool, like, kind of like cabaret style performance, and they do that all the time too, but they went overboard for New Year's, which is cool. So they usually have like salsa dancers or whatever. This one, there was like a woman dancing with the snake. There was some lounge singers. There's somebody doing the sword on their head, the balancing act. There were some like ribbon dancers. Dinner and a show is really, really cool. And then we just went out to a club and did the countdown. Had a good time. Maybe I'll share some highlights from it tomorrow. It probably got pretty big. I think we got maybe 30 something people at the max show up at any given time. It got so big, like my biggest complaint was the table was, I told them how much big the party was, and then they were supposed to move our tables around, but this little kind of New Year's Eve was kind of like hard to do. So our table was right next to the DJ on the floor, and I was like, okay, that's the bigger table, but it was really small for our size relative to that. So the funny thing was they had ropes around it, you know, like little private area. You like can't cross the rope from the GA population. So like, I'm like, everyone's like, man, it's getting a little tight here. So I was like moving the ropes around. I was like, I just made our table bigger. So I was like asking people in the crowd, I was like, hey, can you step back really quick? And then I was moving the ropes out to give us a little more space. But it was a little packed, and New Year's is always kind of a shit show like that anyways. But other than that, we all had a good time. I think we had fun. It wasn't too crazy. Surprisingly, wasn't that expensive either. We had a good time. What'd you guys do anything for New Year's? Did y'all go anywhere? Did you celebrate at home? I'd like to throw house parties more often instead of go out, but my house isn't really good for parties. I live in one of those tall, skinny 4-story townhomes, which is good. I mean, it's good hosting area in the middle. But like, I think hosting a parties, you want like a big 1-story house where it's like big and open and people are going up and down stairs, and you know, the kitchen is right there, and you maybe have a swimming pool or a deck or something to kind of expand the area. Mine is like you go up the stairs and then you're just in a box. But it's good for like, I host like game nights and stuff here. Attended some fun virtual events. Oh, nice. I would always like to travel for New Year's. That'd be like my future goal. To get out and go somewhere. Hit up a different city. Had about 10 beers and deep on the pin, saw the ball drop and called it a good LOL. That's hilarious. Played some video games, nothing crazy. That sounds like a great idea. I might go play some Zelda and just chill for the rest of the day. Went to a bar with unlimited drinks, not a good idea or a great idea. Unlimited free drinks? That's the best idea I've heard in a long time. Now you drinking more than you should. Not the best idea. Keep your liquor clear. This is the rule for unlimited open bar. Clear liquor only. That's it. Get vodka tonics, baby. Gin and tonics. That'll keep you from getting fucked up and having a headache. No champagne, no mixed drinks. 90% juice and 10% alcohol. You fucked. That's the worst, dude. Like, I hate. Oh, the sugar is what gets you, man. That next day, the sugary drinks is like, and I'm getting too old to drink the way I did when I was a kid. Like, if I get hungover, it like immobilizes. I remember as a kid, I get a hangover and be like, oh man, my head hurts, whatever. I'm going to the gym. Now when I get a hangover, I'm laying in bed crying like a baby for a day or two. Like, I can't even move. Had you yakking in the club? Oh god, it's hilarious. Hope you're feeling better. I didn't drink that much this weekend, which is kind of nice. I had some friends that did, though. One of my friends in particular got pretty wasted. He usually watches the stream, which was a fun time. We all had fun. But it was accidental. Wasn't intended. I was going to get some mics or Twisted Teas. I chose Bush instead. Yeah. That's better than all the teas and stuff. You guys will. Those sugar drinks will kill you, dude. That's where I get like the headache that just I can't even move the next day. Bum bum. Oh, let me show. I'll show you a few pictures from the day. We'll do. Well, we'll go over. I'll do it tomorrow. Let me be here. This was my when I tell you it was like a unicorn exploded with all these girls dressed in glitter. This was like, these are all my friends that were dolled up. So it's like glitter, 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 glitter. It's my Hugh Hefner photo. They were joking about it. They go, Matt, get in here. We're gonna take a Hugh Hefner photo. It's like, all right. So it was me and Mention girls and taking a photo. That's right. That's right. Those are all my besties. There you go. There you go. It was one of the girls' 40th birthday too, so we kind of elaborated on the New Year's bash for her because it was her 40th. And she didn't even want to do anything. She was like, I don't want to celebrate. I'm just gonna. And we were like, okay. And then we organized a little surprise party for her. We said, come to dinner, we'll take you out, then we'll go out and, you know, we got a table at a club. She's like, okay. Then she shows up and I invited 7 of her best friends. She didn't even know it. So dinner was Matt and 8 girls. It was rather nice. Look at me, look at that. And they were like, you look like Hugh Hefner walking up. It's so funny. We walked into the club and it was like me and my suit, and I had 8 disco balls walking behind me. And they were all having a field day with it. They were like let's like get 2 of us on Matt's arm, and he's like, let's make Matt feel like the most important guy in the world. I was just laughing the whole time. I'm a little shy for that stuff, but it was kind of funny. So they were having a good time with it. And they're all like super successful ladies too. They're like one of them's one of the top real estate agents in town. Like they're all very successful. But you know, New Year's people like to just glam out, have some fun with it. A thorn between roses, hilarious. Come on, let's get 2 girls, 1 on each arm. 2 on each arm. Okay, yeah. Like, let's walk slow and then like just walk in like Matt has the biggest dick in the room. Like they were just being really funny about it, and I was just like, oh my god, guys, y'all are crazy. But they had like birthday girl had a blast, and she was extremely excited when she showed up and saw her friends there. So we all turn in 40s. And I didn't do anything big for my 40th birthday. I got an R2D2 Lego set, and I went to this little resort for myself. At the time I was dating a girl. We just went and booked a couple days at a resort and chilled. But my 41st birthday was massive, and my 42nd birthday was ridiculously massive. So and now I'm like, okay, celebrate once a year, and even throw a party is nice. Always a fun time. This is what happens when you don't trade irrational. That's right. Exactly. But I threw up a reel of the event. Maybe it will go over some. I'll show you guys tomorrow. All right, trading day's over. Boo. Oh well, we'll wake up tomorrow recently. Can you repeat the new risk interval? It isn't 115. Baron, can you load it? Did you get it to work? You have to add your ticker. Type in this right here. I'll tell you. For the S&P or NASDAQ. You want NASDAQ? Here, type in this. Add this at the bottom. F.US.ENQ H24. That's the ticker for NASDAQ. F.US.ENQ. I know it's a lot to type in. H24 contract code. That's it. Is it ENQ or is it NQ? Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, you haven't added futures? Well, for this, you don't need to have futures added to the platform. You should still be able to do this. Maybe, hold on, wait, what is NQ? Oh, I already have it added. I already have it. F.US.ENQ H24. Yeah, you don't have to have futures added to be able to do this. You just scroll down and add it. That's it. Should work. Okay. Also, like, New Year's was kind of crazy at the end of the night because there's this really popular club in Houston called Clay, and it's like one of those Vegas style swimming pool clubs where they like have a pool outside, and there's a DJ by the pool, but then there's like booths around the pool. And so our friends own that place, and they sold it, is what I heard, to I remember the group. But essentially, they sold it. So it was like the last night Clay's going to be open. And so it was open after hours for like private event only after 2 a.m. So we got the invite to that and showed up, and it was like a total shit show. And like, I mean, it was great. The party was good. But like getting in and getting out, everyone was like, dude, everyone was trying to get in, and like they were like, nope, can't get in. Who do you know? Who do you know? Are you on the list? Are you on the list? And it's like, there's no stream. Like normally, when I go to a club like that, my friends usually are the owners or whatever. We just text them and be like, hey, yo, we're out front, come get us. Or they'll come pick us up, or the doorman will know us or something. These guys didn't know who we were. They didn't know anything. And then our friends were like trapped on the inside. Gonna get out, walk up to the front. Luckily, I got there before the line was crazy. And like, there's all these people standing in line. And it's like, sometimes you can just like walk up to the doorman, but this line is like through a corridor. It's really bad design. So, you know, after hours usually questionable and sketch as it is, and I'm trying to navigate through this line of people. Essentially, you're just cutting in front of people, and you get these looks and these like very scary looking people that look like, hey, yo, hey man, what's up? Watch out, watch out. And I'm just like, just keep your head down and keep walking. You're like pushing through people to get to the front of the line. And then everyone sees you basically cutting in front of them. But if you're on the list, you're not supposed to wait in line, right? But there's no way to usually walk up to the side. Doorman, you're like, hey, this is my name. I'm on the list. Yeah, sure, come on in. This one, I'm like squeezing through all these people to try to get in with my friends behind us, and then like getting some nasty looks from everyone. And finally, I showed up to the front. I'm like, hey, this is my name. And they're like, oh, yeah, come on in. And then I had my other friends show up late, though, and they couldn't get up to the front of the line, and they were having a hard time getting in. And I walk up to the door guy, so I'm like, hey, I've got some friends back there. Can you sneak them in the X? And he's like, no, man, $100. $100 a person, I'll let them in. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I don't want to, if I want to have a Karen moment and be like, oh, you may call your boss. I was like, we're here at the owner's table. He's like, yeah, you and everyone else. I'm like, oh my God. I guess people are just having that moment. So I just told my friends, I'm like, let's just call it a night and go home. So it was like, and on the outside, there were like literally people just flooding, trying to get in. It was like the one last place. Once word got out, it was open. Because Houston doesn't do after hours like everywhere. And once word got out that it was open, everyone in town showed up. So like a lot of our party got split up, and then we just like, whatever we're gonna call it. It was nuts. We had a good New Year, so it was fun. 2024 is gonna be a great year, and a great year for Rocket Scooter. I'm excited. All right. Like I said, it kind of sounds like I do this all the time. I'm not really much of a club and bar person a lot, but the last like 3 or 4 months I have been partaking a lot more. That doorman probably made a ton of money that night though. $100 a person. Didn't care if he got fired or not. I was like, you know, and I was like, I get it, you know. It's probably everybody out there probably just trying to name drop to get in. Guy just say, oh, $100 a person, I'll let you in. I'm like, do you see my you see my wristband? And like I was like, get on your walkie-talkie to the other guy. He's like, no man, it's all right, I don't have to do that. It was just that much of a chaotic thing. I don't think anybody cared to. All right. No, I told my friends, it's like, just go ahead and go home. Don't stand outside behind all these questionable people and like scary people, you know, like people you think would look like they had guns and stuff. So after hours, I always sometimes get a little scared. Reach out to tech. Okay. You guys good? All right. It's calling it a day. No trades today. Market's been flat. Haven't gone anywhere. Gonna sit out. Take it easy. Call it. We'll see y'all later. Marketplace coming out pretty soon. I'm super excited about this. Honestly, we've been spending a long time building. This is gonna be the best things that I've ever made, and I'm really excited just to kind of see what potential we have there. We have a lot of people interested in being vendors, so it's gonna launch with a pretty sizable group as we're gonna unleash different products as time goes by. The opening products obviously be Rocket Scooter and bundles and other tools and things. Y'all have a good time with it. We love y'all. I'm going to get to work on building this data proxy for you guys. I'm gonna get back to doing the indicator, DD flow, and a couple other things for building. So you'll get excited for the changes, new things. So I'm super excited. We love y'all. See you later.